This is the March 8th reading. I drew the cards. If you want to see that, I will provide the link for the extended reading, which is about 20 minutes, with the pull of the cards. The first card that came out, and by the way, we're using the Gilded Tarot with by Barbara Moore, artwork by Chiro Marchetti. The first card that came out was the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is a card of learning. It's messages basically coming in. But also delivering messages on the earthly plane. But this is a very grounded page in a lot of respects, although it can be player energy because it's learning about things in life, learning about things here in the 3D. This page is looking over at this peacock, but he's not letting go of the thing that he currently has in his hands, which he does find valuable. He's not putting it down. So he is taking in information. He's definitely looking around him, and he is, which is again, like that player energy, right? It can be perceived as that, but he's actually just curious. This is a curious, young person, and he's well dressed. He's in a good position to learn. This is, like Sagittarian energy, like, learning about things about cultures, about, other people, about yourself. The other card that came up, so this card, definitely he has kind of that the grass is greener on the other side stuff going on, but he's not actively doing anything about it. It's not a knight, it's a page. And even the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the deck. He's working on the earthly plane, so he is taking time. So this individual is taking in a lot of information that's about himself, right? Because there is a journey that is about to, that we are definitely feeling like, we are in some kind of journey. I didn't mention this in the longer reading, but the ivy is also, as I was listening to the playback on it, ivy is also like kind of a symbol of tradition. Like we think about like ivy growing over like in an older forest, or like the ivy that's growing on some well-established buildings. It's kind of represents some kind of tradition. Like I'm feeling tradition. This person is actually walking away from something traditional, some kind of traditional setup, and no matter which path the individual chooses, there's some kind of like, regular kind of construct. What was is no longer, but he's not like, burning the ivy behind him, because actually ivy is really hard to kill. So, it's going to be there. Those traditions are there for him to come back to potentially, or, he has built some kind of tradition that he can take forward with him. There are two very obvious, one path seems to be more difficult than the other, with the mountain coming up right very quickly on that path. But then the other one, I noticed when I did the live poll, I thought that there was lightning coming down. No path is going to be without its challenges. And just because something looks hard on the front end doesn't mean that you shouldn't embark on it. And, or, just because something looks really easy doesn't mean, oh, that's automatically the one that we want to take. So, don't discount everything that all the tradition and all that you do have behind you. You can call, you can call through that, pull in what you need in order to get you through, and you have the conditioning that you need to ascend that mountain, even if it looks a little bit scary. There's birds flying over it. How scary could it be? Plus, it's really important not to, think that other people are stronger or better than us or anything like that at doing, a mountain straight out the gate, or to think that, you have come so far in life, you don't have to be ascending any mountains. That's nonsense. We're still in a learning mode, each and every one of us, right? The final card that came up to be the three was the 10 of Pentacles. And this, one thing I noticed that came up for me to share was that, this is that card of like really knowing that, how much you do value the things, whatever it is that you do have in your life. This is being in contentment. And there is a turtle at the very bottom of that card. You see, a turtle's happy no matter where he lands. They have their shell on their back. They can draw in if they need to. They can be in water. They can be on land. And, and they take their time. All of these cards, none of this like decision making suggests at all that we need to be making any fast kinds of moves. And that's not important, because we're really trying to find, understanding, really looking around, Okay, what is it that I value? What's important to me? And, this is a happy home life. This is good health. These are all those kinds of things that we find gratitude for. And it's really important to do that, I think, right now. A lot of people are going through some very uncertain times. And, something has definitely is causing some decisions, but there's no need to rush. The Almighty has you. The other cards that came up at the bottom of the deck, the Five of Pentacles, this is the card of like, you're bum out of luck. And but these people are also not horribly dressed. In this particular deck, I mean, it does matter that what deck I picked. Yes, regardless of the fact that this is a card of like we don't have any, and they're less well dressed than this individual. This guy is also not super well dressed. Right? He's in traveling clothes. So are they. They're travelers. But if we look up, we realize that the divine has a plan. And regardless of what your position is on a higher power, look up, look around you. Let's recognize that it's not just us that's going through this. Like everybody's going through some kind of struggle. We can never perceive about how well they're dressed or whatever. We don't know. We never know what's going on with people. But what we can do is change our perspective to look up, which is this is the Five of Pentacles. And I didn't mention this in the other reading. 5 is the number of like thought processes on the day-to-day basis. So when we start to do that, even little by little, just kind of always taking time every day to look up and out and like really perceive what's happening around us in a way that gives us information that we can be curious about and use, not defensive. We're going to be in the more emotionally stable. It kind of stabilizes our emotions and helps us understand, and we can start to maybe come up with some really good creative solution. The King of Cups is somebody who is in better emotional mastery, emotional leadership, and starts to be creative, not in an airy-fairy way, but in a very practical way. He's got Saturn there behind him. So he's, coming up with really good, solid solutions that are creative and feel like, potentially good paths to follow. There is a decision to be made. And we will do it. There is some defensive energy in the Nine of Wands, but that's understandable, right? I'm going to leave it at that. Good luck to you. Much love. I will be praying for everybody. If you want to like, share, subscribe, all of that interaction helps to get the messages out there. If you want your own private reading, direct message me. I'm happy to set something up for you. Take care.